I was on the last episode of Friends.
All right, the 15-minute morning show podcast. But it could be more. It could be less than 15. I don't even know why we call it that, but we do. Full house today. We've got Gandhi and Scary and Dave. Where did Nate go? Nate
just walked out.
What a time to walk out as you're doing the intros.
I know.
That's terrible.
The hell is that going on? Anyway, we have special guests. Yeah. Of course, my partner, our friend David Katz, is here.
Hello, hi.
And Jason Kravitz, the actor. Woo-hoo. He's here.
The actor. Hello.
That guy.
That guy.
Otherwise known as that guy.
I know that guy.
Well, okay, so we'll explain what... Nate, thanks for coming back.
Nate was getting me coffee, so thank you, Nate. I appreciate that.
I like that. I was introducing you, and you just ran out the door. Like, okay.
Gotta get the guy's coffee.
Well, thank you.
Delicious.
So, okay, let me make this all make sense. So, the Carney Awards is an award show that David and his brother dreamed up. In 2015 was the very first Carney Awards.
Well, that was the first show. We dreamed it up in 2003 or 4, just to be honest.
Okay. All right. So what's it about? And when we get into that, we'll understand why Jason is here. And,
why is he here?
Why is this guy here?
That guy.
That guy. All right. Go, David. Go.
So we came up with the idea. We wanted to, my brother and I were always fascinated by that guy. We love that guy. Don't know his name, but you see him in every movie, every TV show, whether it's an actor or actress, and they never got their due. They never won an Emmy, an Academy Award, and we said these people need to be honored. They're everywhere. Nobody knows who they are, so why don't we create a show that honors them? And we thought that one of the greatest characters and actors of all time was Art Carney, a.k.a. Ed Norton, and a couple of 100 other movies and TV shows. And so we went to the family of Art Carney, and we went to Art Carney, and he said, absolutely, and that was the birth of the Carney Awards. And the road to get to November of 2015 was about 10 to 15 years in the making. But we had our first show in Los Angeles in 2015, and it was to honor people like our guest Jason Kravitz, where you have seen him, you know him. People will walk by him on the street and go, I know that guy. They don't know where from or what his name is.
Yeah, let's be clear. To honor people like me, but not necessarily me. Let's be clear.
Okay.
I'm a supporter of the awards wholeheartedly, but not yet across the stage.
Well, okay, here's right now we're saying our guest is, of course, Jason Kravitz, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Jason Kravitz. No, go Google Jason Kravitz, and as soon as his face pops up, you're like, oh my God, that guy. I know him.
Yeah.
And you look down your IMDb list, you have had more work, arguably, than most of the actors that we do know very well. It's true. It's a very true thing. To be a working actor is a wonderful, wonderful thing.
It is.
And you do work. It's good to have you here.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. It's nice to work. I don't think I didn't aspire to be that guy. Let's be clear. I aspired to actually have people know my name. But if it was know my name or work a lot, I'll take work a lot.
You look very familiar to me, by the way. But here's the thing. When people see you and they approach you, what are some of the things they come up with where they may know you from?
Was your name Scooter? Did you go to Yale? Do you live on Long Island? My favorite was on the subway. Some guy looked at me and he said, "Excuse me, are you a lawyer?" So, no. Are you involved with the judicial system in any way? And I was like, no. And he goes, do you recognize me? And I'm like, never seen you before. Nope.
See, like, I can definitely, I recognize you from a TV show, but now that I'm trying to, I recognize you from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Sure, yeah.
But now when I say, like, oh, you were the LOL lady's husband.
Yes.
What was your name in that show?
That's a really good question.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
I don't even remember
what character you played. Hello,
what character? There were so many.
Right.
I remember there was another character that had a last name Kravitz, and it wasn't me. That's what I remember about that show. They used my name for somebody else. No, there are a couple that people can jump to. That's definitely one, because that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm, the Palestinian chicken episode, is one of the top-rated episodes of that series. I just happen to have a nice spot on it.
I saw it on a plane.
There you go.
I saw it on a plane.
I was the guy on the plane. I was that guy on the plane.
You sat in front of me on the plane.
I've seen it on a plane. I've seen other people watching it on a plane. That's weird to be sitting there going.
Did you then ever walk up while they're watching the episode and just kind of loiter around?
Can I get you a drink, sir? Can I get you? No, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, it's a good plan. But yeah, that one I had an episode that was very popular. I was on an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond that was popular called The Mentor, which I got to work with all those just incredibly talented people. And the one that seems to go well in England, when I'm in England, they love the fact that I was on the last episode of Friends. I had one little bit. After 10 years, I never auditioned for that show at all for 10 years. And then the last episode, I get into Phoebe's cab about halfway through the episode and get kicked out.
Wait, that was you?
That was me. That was the guy. If you're a certain age and demographic, Gilmore Girls seems to be one that was popular. I had a small thing with you, but those are fanatic fans. So
wait, what about the Law and Orders? You've been in 3 of those, right?
Yeah, I've been in all 3 all 3 flavors. And then I was on The Practice which was a law show for a couple of years, and that was the one that kind of kept me started in the business.
That was probably the one you were referring to when the guy came up to you and go,
"Yeah,
were you a lawyer?"
No, he actually asked me. I forgot. He asked if I was a parole officer. That's what gave me the first clue. Like I should not answer this question.
David, were Jason and I in the same SVU? I played a dead guy.
I don't remember seeing him in the background, but yeah, a few years ago, Elvis played a dead guy on Law and Order SVU. He was great.
We might have been in the same SUV at one point, but I don't think we were in the same SUV.
No, I was driving it.
Yes, that was me.
Well, look, NCIS, I'm looking down your list. You've been in a billion things. You were in Halston, which I loved Halston, by the way.
That was a fun role.
I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. It's
Can I ask you a question based on that?
Sure.
So you're in all of the hundreds of things, right? Can I say hundreds? Has it been hundreds?
I would go with dozens of several dozens, scores of things. Go with scores.
So scores of things. I mean, how much notice do you get for these things? Because it just seems like there's so many.
This is the illusion of television. When if I do 5 shows in a year as a guest star on these shows, you may work for 5 weeks out of the year. So it really is a lot and for every job you see on that list, there's probably 10 auditions that I didn't get, at least 10 auditions. And there are dry spells that go on for a while and then a couple things that'll overlap. But really I'm bored most of the time.
Okay, so back to the auditions. What is the biggest role that you auditioned for that you ended up not getting?
Let me count the ways. There, of course, every actor has the story of, it was me, and then it wasn't me. And gosh, I try to put those out of my mind, to be honest. But,
really?
But
thanks, Nate.
Everybody's got disappointments. Like I said, I was on The Practice for 2 years. I was having the time of my life. I started as a guest star, just 1 episode, turned into 2, turned into 5, turned into 2 seasons, and I was having the time of my life. And then I got a call from the creator, David Kelly, one day going, "Hey, just want you to know, your character dies in the next episode." And you're like, "What?"
Wasn't it a fantastic ending?
It was fantastic. I got gunned down in a parking garage,
Yeah, but that was also the end of your paycheck then, right?
It was the end of my paycheck. It was like being uninvited to Thanksgiving dinner. It was like, wait a minute, I want to come back. What about my parking space?
Oh, I know. It's easy for us to laugh at that, but for you as a working actor, that was not a good call to get.
No, it's not. And now I can laugh at it. The funny part is I was walking out of my therapist's office when I got the call, so I could turn around and go right back in.
One more thing.
And then I had to go to work, and I was like, I wrote a story about it called Dead Man Working, because it was literally like they shot my death scene and then I had to go back the next day and film the courtroom scenes. I was like, oh, that's neat. But it's a real disappointment. Yes, of course it's a real disappointment. But it also, then you look back and you go, that job gave me my career. That's the reason I have all these other jobs. And that list is because I got to do 2 years on this fantastic show and work with some of the most amazing actors and some of the best writing I've ever had. So
again, go Google Jason Kravitz.
Go
do
Google
it now.
it.
You'll see who we're talking about. Now, what I love about the Carney Awards is we do have a lot of actors coming out saying this needed to happen for many years, and they say without these actors, these stories wouldn't work. They're so necessary. I mean, it's just the plot, the storyline. Nothing would work without all of the levels of actors that are involved with the play or with the show, right? And that's one of the things David was loving most about this project, right, David?
Yeah, and they're you can't build a house without the walls and the structures to keep the house up. We've believed the entire time that you can't really do most movies or TV shows without the character actors. You excluded, of course.
Except for me.
You guys, I think the term we used to use was you are the backbone of almost every movie and TV show, and you just cannot have a successful show without your characters being in the shows.
I totally agree with that. And any producer listening and director, you should agree with that too. And phone lines are open.
And you know what's interesting? As I've gone down the path of learning about more of the character actors, and yeah, there were many that I didn't know as well. What really stood out to me was, for example, you said you were just in the last episode of Friends.
Yeah.
Yet there could be so many people that just remember you from that scene. Richard Kind, our friend Richard, was on Mad About You. I don't know if anybody watched Mad About You.
Yep.
He was on 4 episodes only. And if you ask him what role do most people come up to and recognize him, they'll go, "Oh, we loved you on Mad About You."
Yeah.
Yet he was only on 4 episodes.
Yeah.
So you guys don't always get the biggest roles, but sometimes you get the most memorable ones.
It's always nice to be recognized, honestly, for whatever. I'll take one off, and I'll take if I did a season or 2 on something, it doesn't matter. It's lovely when people come up and say they remember you in your work. It always means something.
As an actor, are you able to watch another TV show or a movie littered with character actors and watch it as a fan, or are you looking at the show or the movie and going, I would have played it differently. I should have been that character. Are you able to actually enjoy watching other actors?
The only shows I can't watch are the ones I auditioned for and didn't get. That's hard, because then you're like, nope, can't support that. Nope. I don't even like. I mean, your show accepted. I had a really great time, of course, going to the Carney Awards. It's a lot of fun. And supporting all of my friends who are up on stage. But it's very hard for me to watch award shows now, because I'm like, well, I'm not. What does this have to do with me? I don't know. I don't care who wins. Come on, unless I have friends in it, of course. But no, I love watching television. I love watching great character actors work without any kind of jealousy or any kind of connection to it. I just think, character actors are, like you said, we are the backbone, and hopefully your show continues and we get more recognition. I mean, I loved, who was there? Richard Kind got the award when I was there. Wendy Malick.
Bill Fichtner, I might have been that year.
Jonathan Banks was there. Love Jonathan Banks.
By the way, Google all these people.
I am right now.
Well, Jonathan Banks was famously in Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. He's that very intense-looking bald guy that he's an incredible actor, and he's been around for a long time,
even longer than that. You go back to the first Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah,
he was.
He's one of the
in that.
Yep.
He was in 48 Hours, the original 48 Hours.
Yep.
He was a cop that got blown away right in the beginning of the movie.
Exactly. He's been around for a long time, and he's one of my favorite actors. So I have a lot of favorite actors, and most of those are character actors who can really shift and change. I love that.
And a very nice man. And one of the things that we've learned by being with these actors is you guys seem to just be very genuine, very friendly, very warm. I don't think there is a character actor that we've met that didn't have those characteristics. Having said that, you've worked with some, and maybe you will name or won't name. You've worked with Nicole Kidman. You've worked. I don't know if I put Dylan McDermott as an A-lister, but have you worked around some of these actors that perhaps don't recognize the character actor as we do and treat you as such?
I've been very fortunate that most people I've worked with on set just treat you as an actor, and there've been 1 or 2 instances when someone I won't name names, but I was doing a movie.
We need names.
I was doing a movie where an actor came up and was introduced to a group of us that were character actors that were standing in this one scene. And they said to her, "You're going to come up, you're going to talk to these guys, and they're going to give you information, and then you're going to go." And she came up and said, "Hi, guys, how are you?" And we said, "Fine." Good. "So what do you do?" We're actors. No, I know you're doing that, but what do you do? What's your actual job? You're like, what? And these are like working guys. Like I was probably the least working of all these guys. I was like, we're looking at each other like, did that just happen? But for the most part, people are very respectful. I mean, Nicole was fantastic to work with. Ewan McGregor, when I was working on Halston, just a fantastic person to work with. Loved working with him. And I had a great experience when I did the Kaminsky Method. This is like the benefit of being a character actor. You get to walk in and work with like legends. So I was working with Michael Douglas and Alan Arkin. And it was like episode 2. And I'm sitting there with these two legendary actors, and just they're like talking to me. I'll give you one that's more recent. I'm going to be appearing this coming season's Only Murders in the Building.
Oh wow!
No way! They're really fun. Yeah. So I have a couple of episodes, and I got to work with, of course, Steve Martin and Martin Short in a couple of scenes. But the first scene that I had to do with them, I just walked up to them, and they come out of the elevator, and they're like, "Hi, what are you doing here?" And I start talking to them, and I completely dropped all my lines. I couldn't think of a thing to say. With the first take, I was like, I'm like, hey, Steve Martin. Here's Martin Short. Hey, Steve Martin. Wow. I'm sorry, can we go again, please? Can we go back?
I get that.
And they were like, yeah, whatever. They didn't care. They were like, okay, let's do it again. But it really, working with that level of people, and just like suddenly you're going from like, yep, I'm just auditioning, and because now all of the auditions are at home on tape, just auditioning for this thing on tape. I don't know, whatever happens. And the next thing you know, you were on set with some of the people that you've just completely admired, and they're your mentors in some way from growing up. It's a really great experience. So I still love that. Yeah.
Can't imagine what that's like, but I love that you're here to talk about it. Well, Gandhi, you had a question or a thought?
I did. So when you were on your 3 episodes of Law and Order and the different iterations of it, were you the same character, or did they make you different characters?
No,
I love that.
Different characters this time around for those, and the spread over years too. I did when Law and Order, the original recipe, first ended, and then before it came back, I was on the last season of that. I just played a defense lawyer, and then I came back to do SVU and CSI. I was a dead body. I wasn't even a or CI, not
dead
CSI.
Bodies,
CI.
Dead bodies.
Criminal intent.
We got to stick together.
Dead bodies. I'll tell you, lying on a slab with a Y incision in February on Chelsea Piers in Manhattan is not an experience I'd like to do again.
That's exactly what I did. Chelsea Piers. My favorite thing, though, Jason, is in makeup. The makeup artists, I mean, they basically do dead bodies.
Yeah.
They say, you should have been here yesterday. This lady jumped off a bridge into the Hudson River. God, she was purple. And I'm like, yes. Oh, remember the time the guy jumped from the top of the building? We had to put that head back together. I'm like, they were hilarious.
Oh, I've had holes in my body. You know, I've been blown away. It's a terrifying thing.
How long did that the practice ending when you were gunned down in that hail of bullets?
Yep.
How difficult? How long was that?
That's a really funny story, actually, because I went on the day when they were gonna kill my character, and I drove past the exit in L.A. I was like, if I just go to San Diego, they can't kill me. If I don't take the exit, and I thought, yeah, they could still kill me. So I went to set, and they were setting up the dummy car that was going to get riddled with bullets. And the guy comes up to me who was doing all the effects, all the pyrotechnics, and he was missing a finger, which did not inspire confidence. And he's like, all right, dude, here's what's going to happen. You're going to sit here in this car like this. You're going to put the seatbelt on like that. And then you're going to hear bang, 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 bang. And this window's going to blow out. And that one's going to blow out. You'll hear the tire blow up back there. This thing's going to go. You'll see an explosion in the front. There'll be a guy right in front of you about 15 feet away with a pellet gun of glass bullets, but don't worry, there's 3/4-inch plexi between you and the windshield. It's all going to go fine.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, just stay right in that seat, and you'll be perfectly safe. And then he stepped back and went, everybody clear! And I was left just sitting there in the car on my own. Everybody was hiding behind pillars, and all I could see was the barrel of a pellet gun like 15 feet in front of me. I was
my God.
Oh, here we go. And we shot it. And I said to the director, this little French man, I said, Jeannot, how do I act? What do you want me to do? How do I act this? He goes, yes, here's what you do. You put your seatbelt on. You put your hands on the steering wheel. You hear bang, 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 bang. You do your Sonny Corleone in the toll booth imitation, and you die facing the camera.
He tells you to like jerk around, like your body.
Literally, Sonny Corleone in the toll booth. James Caan, and that's what I did. And we got it in one take, and it was done. And I went to the showers to clean off all the blood and shrapnel and stuff. And by the time I came out, everybody gone home. And I was like, well, that's
my God. I want to see this scene now. I want to see how you.
Oh yeah, you can look
how
it
you
up.
play
Dying. It's terrifying. Yeah, well, it's funny now when I watch it because I'm like, I'm literally doing Sonny Corleone in the toll booth.
I've always wondered, like, hey, just jerk around like you're a fish on a dock.
It isn't a difficult job.
Well, look, it's been incredible to have you here, Jason.
Thank you.
I can listen to you talk about what you do for a living for hours and hours and hours. I think it's fascinating.
Well, are you going to come see my show? Is this a thing that we should talk about?
He's
yeah.
He's
No, I
here
have it
to
right here.
do a show.
I'm doing a show.
Okay.
You have it.
At Joe's Pub. Absolutely. We love Joe's Pub.
Oh, yeah.
This sounds like a lot of fun. A lot of improv, a lot of music. Tell everyone what you're doing in the show. A total thing different than being shut up in a car.
I took 3 of the scariest words to an audience, solo, improv, and cabaret, and put them all together. And so I do a show called Off the Top, which is what it sounds like. It's all off the top of my head. It is a night of like a life story and song like you'd see at 54 Below or Birdland or something like that. But it's all made up. My character's made up. The songs are all made up on the spot. They come from suggestions from the audience beforehand. And I have a great band that follows me along and plays along. And then I have special guest stars. Richard Kind has been a guest star before. F. Murray Abraham did it.
F. Murray.
Really?
He certainly did, and he was genius. And this Friday, the 26th, I will be welcoming Tony Danza, the fantastic performer himself. It's going to be a blast. He's quite the character, and he's actually quite talented as a singer and dancer. So it's a really fun show. I've been doing it for a long time now, and it's a tightrope walk, but it's a lot of fun.
I can't imagine. I would shit my pants. I would shit everyone's pants in that entire room.
Yeah, people say, what's the secret to making up like 12 songs over the course of an hour? And I say, it's very easy. Panic. You stand on stage, everybody's looking at you, you have a microphone, and you better start singing something. And but it's a lot of fun. It's a fun night, and I just got back from doing it in London, and I did it in LA in the spring, and I'm happy to bring it back to Joe's Pub, which is a great venue.
Well, Jason, how long will Off the Top be at Joe's Pub?
Just for one night. One night only, Friday the 26th. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I need more.
Okay. You call me. I'll do it here.
That would scare the hell out of me.
I'll come to a soybean farm in Jersey if I have to. You know.
I can't imagine what it's like to walk off the stage after doing a night of that, and you're like, first of all, you feel like you just got up out of the electric chair that was on full beam. Yeah. But then you look at yourself in the mirror and go, okay, tonight was good. Tonight was fun. You must love those nights.
It's a lot of relief. And it's a very stressful couple of days before the show and up to the show, but after it's done, it's a lot of fun. The audience seems to have a great time, and I really enjoy it. So it's a fun night. I hope people can come out and see it.
Ticket info, of course, at Jason Kravitz. At Jason Kravitz on social. Yep. Or do a search for.
Find me on Instagram. You could find me I'm everywhere. I'm not that hard. And I'm at Joe's Pub. You could find that too. Joe's Pub and my name, or the Friday the 26th. You'll find
There's a million different things to search, and you'll find it. But that's really cool. Congratulations.
Please come out. Thank you, Elvis. Appreciate it.
What's up there, Nate?
Just as a final note, my favorite role that I see you played, which I haven't seen, is the show Gravity, where you played the credit card asshole.
Yes. Oh, yes. Credit card asshole.
By name.
That was back in the days when after a while, I started telling my agent, I want my characters to have names. I just want to move on from like credit card asshole, coffee guy.
But did that name actually run in the credits at the end? It said credit card asshole?
It did.
What was the part? What did you do as the credit card asshole?
I think whoever the lead of that show was came to visit my office, and I was screwing him over because I was a credit card asshole. I wasn't credit card nice guy. I was credit card asshole. You know.
Oh, that's great.
I don't even remember that job completely. Actually, it's a long time ago. But yeah. There's
And
some
you're
fun
still
guitars.
around. You're still doing it.
I'm
You're
still
working.
here, still moving along. Yes. Thank you all.
Jason Kravitz. Thank you so much for
all.
coming in.
Thanks, Elvis. Thank you all very much. Thanks,
Again,
David.
do a search Joe's Pub or at Jason Kravitz anywhere on social, and you can figure out how to go see him doing Off the Top at Joe's Pub. Again, thank you again to Jason Kravitz. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you so much, man.